You see, people, y'all are trying to resurrect things that God has destroyed once before. The Egyptians, y'all trying to bring the Egyptians gods back up. God destroyed them before. You think he's not going to do it again? All those civilizations that call themselves so smart, the Aztecs, done. Do your history. All those civilizations that go against God, what happens to them? They are destroyed utterly. That's why most witches and warlocks are so secretive. They know what they're doing. There's something wrong with it. Oh, it's a white witch, and it's a black witch, and it's a good witch. All witchcraft is bad. You understand? I was talking to my brother, my cousin, last night. You know, talking about the people of Africa use voodoo to protect themselves. You see, that's what happens. When you turn your back on God, you start finding other ways for protection. So you go to voodoo and hoodoo and sorcery and witchcraft. And you start trying to protect yourself. When you got the Lord. We've been doing this forever. We want a king to reign over us. We want to be like everybody else. They do it. Peer pressure is a mug, ain't it? And it ain't even peer pressure now. Yes, it is. But it's all in your TV screens. Witchcraft is good. People watching Lord of the Rings think they really Gandalf. The closest being that have similar characteristics and walked around with a staff like that was Moses. But his power came from the Lord, not from enchantments. You understand? He didn't have any power. The Lord was his strength and his power. And he operated in the Lord's will with that staff. Whatever the Lord willed him to do, he did. He was not a witch. He was not a pagan warlock. You know, I'm going to talk about this to the day I die. To the day I go to sleep. People believe everything. In my next life, your next life, you're going to be in either heaven or hell. That's your next life, according to my understanding. You know, if God wanted me to go off the deep end, he would have kept me out there in the dark waters, sinking, learning, studying all these other dark art books. I'm trying to tell people these things. Too much studying outside the Bible, outside the source, will lead you in a source that you don't want to be a part of. You understand? Because the color of your skin. Well, my ancestors, they were shut the hell up. You don't know what your ancestors did. You read through a book, they tell you about your ancestors. Because I'm using it because they always say this book right here was written by man and not inspired by God. Well, it's inspired by God to me. Your books were written by man too. Them practices were carried away by doctrine. We research witchcraft and those things. Yes, know your enemy, but don't dwell in it. Don't go too deep. There's so many books out there, people, just to name one, The Key of Solomon. That's a book out there. Alchemy and symbolism and all this crazy stuff. You know, they even go by a different word plate in this. They got lettering and stuff these witches do. And these warlocks do. But be careful. Look closely. If you watch a lot of anime, you see them on there all the time. Watch TV, you see them all the time. Right in your face. Conducting a spell on you. Shoot. Even Howlin' Wolf used to sing about it. In the old blues songs, they sung about people doing witchcraft on them, and there's never no good song trying to let you know something. That there are people out there that hunt your soul and do all kind of crazy stuff with your hair and your fingernails. You know, some blood you done left from a bloody nose. Who knows, people? I'm just trying to be careful. Tell you to be careful. Don't be stupid. The Lord is my help, but I'm not a fool. You know what I'm saying? For real. I don't hate y'all now. I love you. I'm just telling you what the Lord tells me to tell you. It's wrong. It's evil. Evil. It is, people. You understand? And a lot of your folks do it. Some of my folks do it. I hate to say it, but guess what? I will break that chain. I will break that chain. I was watching a TV show over the weekend about some people that gave up on God and they started worshiping the devil. Now, they didn't trust God's timing. Famine was going on in their land, and along come the devil. I can help you. And they joined league with the devil. Let me tell you something about these witches and warlocks. That's who they joining league with. I had heard it from the horse's mouth. All devils ain't bad. What make you think they good though? God is so good, he made it so we ain't got to even offer a sacrifice no more. That's how good God is. And the thing is, the sacrificial lambs and creatures back in the day, they ate them. When they just killing fucking animals and cutting their heads off and cutting their throats up just to use the blood. They ate that stuff, man. What you think the priests did? They kept some of the meat for themselves, and they fed the people with that meat. It didn't go to waste. I'm just saying, man. But you want some chicken bones to throw in the yard and figure out what you're supposed to do? This chicken bone is pointed to the left, so that means I got death my way. You think you need some cards to lay out on the table and somebody can tell you your life from a guess? Cards fell this way, so this must be right. Well, if you play spades or anything like that, you know sometimes the cards fall in your direction and sometimes they don't. You understand? Is there anything mystical about that? You shuffle a deck of cards up, they get mixed up. Sometimes you get a good hand and sometimes you don't. Ain't got nothing to do with time. It's just a chance you take. I don't mean it's right or wrong or whatever. Stop basing your life off of these stupid things. People, I don't care. Get mad. Find Jesus. Don't say you love the son and hate his father. What's wrong with you? Oh, you make sense. I just don't like God. I don't like God. You know, Jesus operates in the perfect will of God. And you know when Jesus come back, he gonna be like, this is me in true power up Super Saiyan mode. You still love me? You should have loved my father. Now it's too late. You should have loved me with your whole heart. Now I'm covered, I'm drenched in blood, ready for vengeance. Now I'm going to open my mouth and destroy all your wickedness. It's the same Jesus y'all talking about. You understand? He's going to have a different mission when he returns. He's going to destroy all the works of darkness. And if you are part of the works of darkness, he's going to destroy you. It's simple. He ain't going to be like, well, you know I love you, Jesus. Oh, you did? Why you still doing witchcraft and shit? I'm sure he ain't gonna talk like that. That's just me. Who knows? You know, I break it down to people like it is. I ain't got time to sugarcoat nothing for you. Nobody ain't never sugarcoat nothing for me. When I had to get snatched out from the dark arts, there was no sugarcoating in it. You understand? It was a rude awakening. Some of y'all in for a rude awakening. I'm for real. Y'all finna straight get the rude awakening. Pow! Rick Rude, like, you know what that is? You know, you put somebody head on their shoulder and you just drop, blow, they go to sleep. Then they wake up like, what in the hell just happened? Some of y'all finna get stone cold stunned into reality. You understand? Rock bottom to get back up and be like, whoa. You know, but the Lord is merciful and forgiving. You got a chance to change and repent just like this guy, Manasseh. And he said he ruled for 55 years doing evil. And then he repented. The thing is, you don't know if you're going to get 55 years. You might just got a few days left. Might got a few hours. Might got a few months. Might got a few years. Who knows? A few seconds left to get right. You see, tomorrow is not promised to us. Death is coming for all of us. You know, the pale or the black horse, one of them are going to be death. And when he come up, he finna start killing everyone. Death's coming for us, man. How you live right now, it's going to turn on how you sleep. Now, when you sleep, one thing about things now, and I'm going to tell you something now. When you sleep, you dream. I was talking to someone who was in a coma. And they said all they could hear things. And they did a lot of dreaming. Dreams. Just dreamed and dreamed. So, in a comatose state, people dream a lot. So your spirit never dies. So you may just be in a supreme dream state. You understand? Until it's time to come home. Just imagine if you lived a life displeasing the Lord, and while you're sleeping, all you have is nightmares. No comfort. Because I'm sure if you live for Christ, while you sleeping, you ain't finna have no deceitful, evil dreams. I don't know for a fact now. I'm just guessing here. I'm hypothesizing. But I know you're going to go to sleep. I know during sleep, you'll dream. You see, Jesus went to spiritual form when he went to hell. Who's to say he didn't just go into their minds, their spiritual minds? You see, I'm just saying, people, open yourselves up to think outside the box. Do you understand? In that case, people go to hell right instantly. And then when Satan and his kingdom rise up, they're going to rise up and work with Satan. I don't know, man. I don't think you get two chances like that. Not according to my Bible. But you don't want to provoke the Lord to anger. 55 years. You see, with Solomon, I don't know if he died in his sins, but the thing is, the story ended after he said Solomon's heart was not right with the Lord. The story was over after that. It wasn't no Solomon fell down and repented. It wasn't no Solomon gave his life back over to God and destroyed some temples and stuff that he set up. You see, Solomon, he came to Solomon at the last moment. But he said, to whom much is given, much is required. He gave Solomon wisdom and understanding. He knew better. And he told him 3 times. 3 times. Yet in old age, he forgot. He started sleeping with all these different women. And he started changing his mindset. He started being a honeydewer. Solomon, you mind if I erupt a grove in your town? Yes, baby. You know I'm the richest man alive. And whatever you want from me, I do, baby. Go on and set you up that statue out there, baby. And the other chick see it. So he built her a statue for her garden. Can you get me one too, Solomon? Yeah, you got it, baby. You know I'm the richest and wisest man that ever lived. First idol. Man idol, anyway. People came from miles around to hear the Solomon of wisdom of Solomon. But yet, he wasn't wise enough to stay grounded in God. And the thing is, you keep studying outside these other books, you're going to fall in the same snare as your boy Solomon. The richest and probably the most vilest man to walk this earth. Don't tell him what he knew. They wrote a book after him. They got a book about Solomon. I don't know if it's real or not. The Testament of Solomon. Every time I try to read it, the Lord's like, don't do it. Don't even read it. You know he turned from me. So this book might have some truth in it, but you don't need to worry about that. In this book, he consulted with demons and stuff. Learn the tricks of the trade. Learn the dark arts. A lot of y'all learn the dark arts right now. You're being manipulated by your family members. They're teaching you things they ought not teach you. They're raising up children, cursed children, mentors to them. Just like we raise our children up in the admiration of the Lord, they're raising their children up in the admiration of their lords. And the thing is, some of them will be snatched back by God. Something that my little children to come to me. God's going to place somebody in their life to wake them up, or try to wake them up from sleep. Do you understand? Sometimes it's going to take some trials and tribulations. Sometimes it's going to take your enemy coming upon you for you to call upon the Lord again. That's what it took for me. It took for me being snatched out of bed by demons. It took for me seeing dark, shadowy figures walking by in the house. It took for me being laying in the bed, shaking and convulsing, and the Lord's Prayer being read over me to stop it. But so many things I went through to get away from that stuff. And yet, I'm still around it. The thing is, it's not by choice. I believe God has a mission for my life. To expose the works of darkness. I'm not going to tell you too many details because I don't want you to get caught up in it. You know, I done heard myths and rumors about family members of mine that were part of covens. You might want to know your family history for real. And a lot of y'all starting to find out your family history, and you like, you know what, I'm finna embrace it too. I'm finna go into the dark arts. And then be on Facebook, I love the Lord. And then hide your face like God don't see it. God see it. I posted a video the other day about a woman supposedly speaking in tongues. And the preacher man was told to tell the demon to speak plainly. And you know what the demon said? Fuck you and Jesus. Right in the church. And them unknown tongues. What you think happens when you don't have an interpreter? You don't know what's going on. You don't know what they're saying. You don't know who that is. What is that? Mumbo jumbo? Why do they call it mumbo jumbo? Because a lot of other language, they be saying things in different tongues and be wishing straight hell and havoc on your life. I know also that all preachers are not skilled to exorcise demons. I watched a documentary years ago about a priest. He's like, you over a parish, but he was like, I don't think I'm suitable for doing this. But you over a congregation, you over a parish, you over a bunch of people. If a man don't know how to rule his whole house, well, how can you rule a church? So if you don't know nothing about telling them demons to get out, how the world can you tell a demon to get out of one of your members? I'm just being real, people. We got a lot of people up in positions right now that are straight warlocks. Having a form of godliness, denying the one thereof. From those who turn away from them, run from them. You know, I will never, if the Lord wills, embrace witchcraft. I was this close, people. And the Lord said, boom! Break every chain, son. It's easy to be manipulated. I don't even know how Manasseh, I guess, learning from other people or watching the other nations, and he started doing these things, trying to be like them. I don't know why people do it. Some people just are rebellious people who just want to go against God. They got that rebellious spirit. Rebellion is like witchcraft. That's what the Bible says. Rebellion is like the sin of witchcraft. So rebellion is going to lead you to witchcraft. I'll be back.